First and foremost, we're here to celebrate the groundbreaking of a major transformation to Wilkins Stadium. On behalf of Wichita State University and Shocker Athletics, thank you to everyone who has helped us pave the way to be here today. You will notice this will be a huge theme of all of our featured speakers because we really do understand that this is not possible without the sum of a great team. So to fill you in on the game plan, this ceremony will highlight a few things today. The importance of this project from a university and community standpoint, the project details and the timeline, perspectives from within the hearts of Shocker softball, and the urgency importance of this process to Wichita State Athletics. Now, before we transition to our featured speakers and get to moving some dirt, I'm going to introduce our first one, President Rick Muma. He's the 15th president of Wichita State University, and he has more than 30 years of experience as a dedicated professional, administrator, and physician's assistant. He is a fearless leader facilitating continued advancement of this campus with innovative thinking, specialized practices, and student-centric programming. Please welcome Dr. Muma.
So, First Gentleman Rick Case and I are just really excited about this. We go to as many games as we can, and just really are thrilled to make this even a better experience as we break ground and build this facility. So, just as a reminder, many years ago, the university decided that we were going to have a D1, a successful D1 athletic program, including softball. And that means we have to have first-class facilities. We need to make sure that the players have the ability to not only succeed on the field, but also in the classroom and in their locker rooms and everything that Christy and her team does to help build their confidence. So student success is just not also on the field, it's also in the classroom, and we need to also be mindful of that as well. And then it also helps with, obviously, recruitment and retaining players, and that's so important in today's environment that we're in. But most importantly, it's important for championships. Yeah. Not in just the league, but nationally, right? Yeah. So, and then I'm also mindful, too, that world-class facilities in our athletic program, it's important for the community. In many ways, this is the door to the community, and we need to make sure that we are cognizant of that and don't forget that. I'd like to also thank John and Gail Wadsworth for their generous donation to kind of get to where we are today. So much appreciate that. And Jeannie and Ricky Brotherton, who are always over here rooting them on the bus, everywhere the softball team goes. Thank you so much for that support. And then finally, Andy Schlapp, who's the executive director of the Wichita State University Board of Trustees, and his leadership to get the board to understand the importance of women's sports, particularly softball, and helping us achieve the donation that we have from them that's actually really moving the needle and making sure we're here today for this groundbreaking. And so finally, I'd like to thank Christy and her team. They have done a remarkable job, many cases in very limited facilities, and against all odds. And now you go to a softball game, and man, that's exciting. It's fun. So thank you, Christy. And then also, I can't forget the players, and I'm assuming there's some alumni here too. And I know there's some alumni from way back. Matter of fact, I was just having a conversation. And how do you know, back in the late 60s, 70s, how do you know when you hit a home run? Because they didn't have a way to demarcate that. She goes, this is when they couldn't run and get the ball. That's when you knew you had a home run. So thank you for this. Yeah. In any case, the student athletes, thank you for all the work you do. I'm always admiring the work that you do on the field, but also in the classroom. I know that's difficult and challenging, and we can't thank you enough for all the work that you put into it. And we know that makes a big difference for you all, but also this university. So thank you so much.
So in April, we selected Crossland Construction to be our construction manager at risk, to partner alongside of our architect, Tessa Ray. So when we did this and went on this journey, we wanted to accomplish a couple of things. First, we wanted to speed up the design build process so that we could get this facility finished so that they could use for a portion of the 25 season. The other thing we wanted to accomplish was to have our general contractor working alongside of our architect to identify issues, vet out cost savings that might be there, and to get us a design that we would be proud of and are excited to join. So the entire team operations and indoor facility has an identified budget of about $9.65 million. And we continue to vet that out through the design process as we go through this. The first phase of this project, which is the indoor phase, will be about $3.6 million. And we are scheduled to start mobilization next week on that and break ground here in a few days. This facility will have a full-size turf infield, courtesy of Hellas Construction, who's been a great partner of ours through time. The ceiling of the facility will be fully netted. There will be nets around the entire facility that can be dropped for when Christy and her team want to do live batting inside the facility. There will also be additional secondary nets that can be dropped to create additional batting tunnels for when they want to do batting practice or for camps or other things. The indoor facility will be heated, and more importantly, it will be air conditioned. So, which will provide a facility that year-round can be a wonderful facility for us to operate out of. There will be large fans in the ceiling that will help circulate air on those warmer days. The north end of the facility will have a restroom. It will also have a plyo wall that they can throw med balls or weighted balls against. There will also be an arm care wall that they can attach various resistance bands to work on their arms for both pitchers and fielders. As part of this first phase, we are going to move the existing batting cages just south of us. We're going to move them onto the north end of this facility to make room for when we are ready to do the team operations building. So we expect this part of the project to be done by mid to end of March 2025. Our goal is to complete fundraising by the end of 24 and transition immediately to building the team operations building. This facility is currently budgeted at about $6 million, and it will be about a 12,000 square foot facility that will encompass at least 8 different offices for our coaching staff, our strength and conditioning staff, our athletic trainer that works with softball, and our director of operations. There will be a classroom that will seat about 30 people that they can use for various functions such as film review, team meetings, or the athletes can even study in there if they wanted to as well. The facility will adjoin to the southern wall of the indoor facility, and it will connect directly to the new third base dugout that is there. There will be a mudroom, kind of a mudroom / hype room that will have some graphics, maybe some monitors in that they will go into, change into their cleats, and be able to immediately go into the dugout without having to go outside. There will be an athletic training room immediately off the mudroom that will have a wet area that can have cold tubs or hot tubs depending on what they need. There will be a team locker room with at least 26 lockers and a team lounge that will be attached to that as well. We will have an equipment room, laundry room in this facility. There will be a break room and staff locker rooms as well. And for both projects, we're going to work through an extensive graphic package to highlight not only our marks, but the history of our program and the great players that have been through it. This is a complex site to build on. As we've looked through it, obviously the Heskett Center is right there. We have a fire lane we have to maintain. There's a ton of utilities that run on the east side, and we are grateful to Crossland and Tessa Ray for helping us work through that. We are excited about the plan they have and look forward to getting started.
A really big day for Shocker softball, for the athletic department, an even bigger day for women's sports. The sport of softball is growing leaps and bounds, but women's sports is growing even bigger. You know, you're seeing the likes of Caitlin Clark changing the WNBA and the NCAA basketball. You're seeing Nebraska volleyball hosting 90,000 people for a volleyball game. And my hope here in the next 5-6 years is that we're going to have 1,400 people watching Shocker softball out here. You know, first and foremost, I'd like to thank my family. Obviously, my little kiddo's running around, but my wife, Jamie, who's an alum of Shocker softball, has been through the good and the bad with me here, and has always been a big support. So I do thank them. But first and foremost, the supporters here, John and Gail, you guys have changed our lives, changed the sports lives, the Park family, the board of trustees, and obviously these two hooligans, I like to call them, but the best and the most fun people to travel with our sport program, the Brothertons. You guys have been instrumental in getting this project started, getting it going, and finally getting these shovels into the ground here in the next couple minutes. And without you guys and the support that you've shown for women's sports specifically, we wouldn't be here. I think about just the transformation of our facility over the last 13 years, and it's been unreal. When I first got here, we were laughing. We had a little alumni event last night. We had a wooden fence, no warning track. I think that was planned by Tim Walton back in the day. He enjoyed the threat, I think, of losing a player from the other team running right into that wall. But I would walk that wall every day, and I'd knock in rusty nails and think to myself, what are we doing here, But it was going to take, turning this program around. My first year, we were 14-50, and we didn't really have a winning culture at the time, and it just took getting the right kids to change that culture around. And I use the word culture a lot. We've got great people in this program, whether it's our coaching staff, our trainer, strength coach, our community, our administration. We've got great people supporting our women. And that's been a big culture change in this program, especially over the last several years, of the number of people that have come out and started supporting our women. And that's been the difference maker for us. We've come a long way. We're very excited, obviously, about the indoor facility, but just seeing the things that have changed in the last 13 years, the number of butts in the seats, okay, sellouts, a padded wall with a warning track, and then eventually turf, which has been a game changer for us, new batting cages, new dugout, new lights. The investment that Dr. Muma and Kevin and our athletic department and our donors have put into Shocker softball has created a really great atmosphere for our student athletes to play and for us to host a ton of events. Brad Pittman did an unbelievable job this past year bringing in AUX and giving softball an even bigger platform here in Wichita with some of the best college athletes that have turned pro that this town has seen in a long time, including our very own Sydney McKinney. For me, this has been a long time coming. When we got to Wilkins, or when I got to Wilkins, we fit in Wilkins Stadium my first year pretty good as a staff. We had a team room, we had a locker room. There was two assistant coaches and myself, and we had plenty of space. And the sport has grown tremendously. We've added an additional assistant coach. We've added a director of operations. We have 3 graduate managers. We have a student manager. We've got Brian Barnes, who's in there doing content for us at a lot of practices and games that he likes to use the space in there. So we've gone from, probably 3 full-time employees to 10 or 11 that are bouncing in and out of that building, especially on a game day. It gets a little crowded. So to see where we're going from where we've been is tremendous, and it shows an unbelievable growth in this sport and the investment that they're making in the sport of softball. Very, very excited about the indoor facility. We've been great partners with baseball for the last, I think, 20 years that we've been sharing Bombardier. But it's going to be nice, I think, for both of us to be able to go in and hit when we feel like it. And for our kids to be able to go in at any point in the day and hit live on the field or do what they want to make themselves better at their sport. And so I think we're both really looking forward to that change and having our own space. I do think that Brian probably is going to be in Kevin's office on Monday asking when they're going to get air conditioning over at Bombardier, but I'll let Kevin deal with that problem for right now. I'll end with something that I think's probably the biggest reason that I'm up here. I've been really fortunate to coach a really great group of girls. We've been fortunate to have a high level of success, and we wouldn't be here today if it weren't for the first team that played at Wichita State, and if it weren't for the ones that have played here for the last 40 some years, 50 years that we've had this sport. They've built this program. You know, I'm just the lucky one that gets to make the lineup out every now and then. You know, we've had tremendous players, and it just goes back to culture. You know, we have good people that live by the motto of leave it better than you found it. And all of them have done a really good job of leaving this program better than they found it, putting in the blood, sweat, and tears, the days that they hate Coach B and they go home and they're like, oh, I want to go home, or she's nuts. You know, there's been plenty of those. But for all the celebrations, the good times, the sold out games, the big time home runs, it's going to be awesome to see where this program grows, and in a time where NIL and the climate of softball and sports in general in college is nuts. It's crazy. This is going to put us right up there with some of the best softball programs in the country, and it's going to allow us to bring in the talent that we need to continue to keep fighting for those championships, whether they're conference championships or national championships. It's just a step in the right direction for us. We're proud to play softball here at Wichita State. I'm proud to be up here. I'm thankful for our administration for supporting softball. We're thankful for our donors, and more than anything, I'm thankful for these young women who've either played for me or playing for me now. They've done a great service to this university, and it's really cool that they're finally getting to reap the rewards.
Tough act to follow. Doesn't she make you want to run through a brick wall? Like, it's really hard to talk about this without first saying thank you to everybody who made this possible. I take a lot of pride in being a student athlete here at Wichita State, not only because the university invests in us, but the athletic department as well. And so thank you. Thank you to everyone who made this possible. Thank you to everyone who has contributed, even if you've just been to one game. I actually heard somebody at the breakfast say that they got invited to a game and they, decided to show up, and now they're a season ticket holder and they can't leave. And I love that. As an athlete, I love to hear stories like that. And so the next thank you I have to give out is to the alumni and to the current players. The alumni, we would not be here without the great group of women that have been through this program. They have paved the way for future generations to be able to, reap the benefits of what they've put in. And I can't say enough thank you to the alumni and to the current Shocker softball players. You guys are awesome. We're really grateful for y'all. What I'm most excited about as a student athlete is I've gotten to watch Wilkins go from what Coach B was talking about to what it is now. And I'm really excited to be able to see it go to what's coming next. I was here when we still had grubs in the grass and when we still were down to this one cage right here. And now we've got a beautiful hitting facility down here, and we've got beautiful turf out there, and it makes it a lot more fun to watch the game. And so to watch it go from what it was when I got here in fall of 2020 to what it's going to be, hopefully March 2025, is going to be a tremendous accomplishment for the athletic department and the softball program in general. This new space will allow us to practice rain or shine, and whenever we want. If you wake up at 6 a.m. and you want to get some reps, you get some reps. And so, long story short, I can't be more grateful enough and more prideful enough in being a student athlete here at Wichita State. Thank you to all the donors. Thank you to all the alumni. Thank you to everyone who made this possible. The student athletes are really grateful and really excited.
So today is obviously an exciting day for our community, for those that believe in the power of sports to transform lives, which is why you're all here, because you believe that. So gathered here to break ground on a project that represents much more than I think than just bricks and mortar. It's a testament to strength, dedication, dreams of generations past, present, and future. You can see the pride on our alumni for where we're headed with this program and this facility. So first and foremost, I know we've overlapped thank yous, but I want to extend my deepest gratitude to all of our donors, University Board of Trustees, who have supported this project by funding a third of the $9.65 million each. So we're about 2/3 of the way towards our goal. Your incredible support, generosity has brought us to this pivotal moment, so thank you very much. That said, we've got 3 million more to go to get to the finish line on this first phase, okay? Phase 1 of Wilkins Stadium is our highest priority from a capital projects fundraising perspective, and I'm confident that together we will achieve this goal. Your belief in this project is truly inspiring, and I'm filled with gratitude for every one of you that has contributed, shared our vision, and rallied behind us as we move forward. So I'm going to get a little deep with you, but I think this facility represents an investment in the future of women's sports, obviously. It's a commitment to providing a space where our young women can learn, grow, compete at the highest levels. It is a promise that we see them, we believe in you, and we will invest in you. Here, they will learn the value of teamwork, discipline, resilience, all those qualities that go well beyond the field of competition. So as we look around today, it's clear that we're not just breaking ground on a new softball facility. We're standing on the shoulders of those that have come before us, so thank you very much to all those that served and sacrificed for many years. Those that have built this program for over 50 years. Those that have fought for equity in sports, who've encouraged young women to pick up a glove, swing a bat, or run with determination. Coaches, players, parents, community members that have championed girls and women's sports for years, even when resources were limited. You're the foundation upon which we build today, and we are incredibly appreciative. This new facility honors that legacy. It will be a place where young athletes can develop not only their athletic talents, but also their character and resilience. Be a place where they can learn the value of teamwork and discipline and perseverance. And for all of those of us that are unlucky to not be in college anymore, we understand the value of those values. Those are qualities that will serve them well beyond the field. So here they have a space. They have a space that tells them they matter, that their dreams are valid, and that we believe in their potential. So we're investing in more than just softball. We're investing in the lives of countless young women who are with us today or are with us in the days to come. We're creating a safe environment, a welcoming environment where young women can play, thrive, be empowered, become leaders of tomorrow. And in doing so, we're not just building a field, we're building a future. So when we start talking about closing the gap on $2 or $3 million more to finish up phase 1, we look at it as much more than just bricks and mortar. We all know that sports have a power to bring people together, to break down barriers, and create lifelong bonds. This facility is a place where families will come together, where friendships are formed, where community spirit is fostered. It's a place where the roar of the crowd, the crack of the bat, the cheers of teammates become memories that last a lifetime. So I urge everybody here today to continue to support this project in any way that you can, whether it's by giving, volunteering, or simply spreading the word. We are close to our goal, and with your help, we will cross that finish line. Together, we can create a place where excellence, sportsmanship, and opportunity intersect, a place that will inspire generations to come. So as we break ground today, let us remember that we're not just turning over dirt, we're planting seeds of hope, opportunity, and equality. We're making a statement that this community believes in the power of sport to uplift, inspire, and transform lives. So thank you all for being here today, for your continued support, and for sharing this vision with us. Today marks an important milestone as we continue the legacy of building something extraordinary together. So now let's get to the exciting part.